Hey guys, it's Ike, and welcome to the 12th episode of Wonder Egg Priority. A little bit of a recap. We saw that Rika is now scarred for life, just like Momoe, and I got a little talking to with Ura-Acca, perhaps to give her more information about her enemy or what she will face later on, and we got to learn more about Acca and Ura-Acca and how they essentially unleashed evil to the world. Which is just fantastic. I also said in the previous episode that I already put in text that I thought Neiru was a part of that, but it was just the skin. It was just the shadow of the face. Because when I had seen it again, I saw the hands. I was like, wait a minute, the skin texture of the hand and the face doesn't look the same. So it was just the lighting that messed me up. That I don't think we ever really saw Neiru's bedroom anyway. So. Anyways, let us get started. Wow, so that's just a picture of the city? Like a hyper-realistic? I mean, just a picture. I don't know why you have to say hyper-realistic. God, look at Ai's legs. And also Rika's too. So their name was Dot. Hyphen. She told me to never come back. Uh-oh. Look, she was too busy being traumatized. Well, I mean, understandable. Well, I mean, we saw two sides of what had happened. The first one is just, oh my god, trauma and sadness, and now I don't want to be a part of this. And then we have Rika, who's like, I'm gonna fuck these people up. They're going to die. What the fuck? She doesn't want to because she doesn't want. Wow. Hmm? Parallel world. Yeah. Yeah, so. Okay. What a fucking surreal environment where you have to apologize to yourself for committing suicide. Who? Again, like that fucking surreal feeling. Okay, yeah, so we did have the little talk with Parallel World back in like episode 9, so. Oh, okay. I spelled parallel wrong. Whoops. In the school pool? Oh my god! You don't need to fucking rub it in there. That's right, I'm your mom's fiance. Goddamn, dude. Goddamn. Hmm. Artisan explosion. Oh my god, this man's firing acid paint. Compliance. You should have watched where you were looking at what was important. This is what happens when a student disobeys the teacher. Damn, how did Leon get over there? Oh my god. When you're born handsome. Oh, damn. Oh, here we are, back in the pool. Oh, hey, Koito. Haven't seen you in like forever. Well, as long as you don't touch her feet like last time. Hmm? Take her up to the roof? She also took her shoes off, too.
だが君たちもいずれそうなってしまう。悲しいね。だから大人になる前に死んだ方がいい。そう思わないかい？悩みのない世界、居心地のいい世界、幸せだろう。
Where? Happy where? Gonna be in the fucking dirt! Oh my god, your mom just said YOLO. Is that from the actual world or from the not actual world, but you know, the current world? Well, that's why you were. She breaking through the that was So I guess they were like in parallel world and this is her breaking through it. Oh, she gave herself a hug. Oh. You can't start showing me mom and daughter shit, man. That shit gets me teary. Family shit in general just gets me teary. You know what? I was gonna write a bunch of notes because that was a lot of stuff, but let me fucking. Ugh, I'll go back and write those notes once this episode ends. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's the same mouth you asked me out with. Oh, there's Koito. She just ups and vanish. Yeah, you better watch out, Leon. Even if she was a fake friend. Aww. You are strong. Is she trying to laugh? What? Holy shit, hold on. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Carrara Rodriguez matured. What is that? 17th. The 17th? No, the 18th. I can't fucking count for some reason. Carrara Rodriguez matured 18th Evening Star SS Plum. Just sound like you were just scrolling through the fucking TV. The TV channels. Oh. His hatred should be taken by Fro. Uh-oh. Hold on. Yeah, Akka's been quite careless with these girls in this episode. But we also know previously that Ura-Acca does, in his own way, cares about these girls, and how you could see it back in like episode 5 or so, when, you know, he lets them play at the arcade and such. I won't. Alright, Kirara. Oh, shit! Well, she did say she won't kill you, so she'll just kill your other self. Okay. What? What? Jesus Christ, dude. The fucking... I know this anime had this whole thing with, like, jumping back and forth in, like, time, in the timeline. But my god, dude, that fucking episode was everywhere. Oh my god. Well, I guess I'll just sit here and wait. Even though I can probably tell if there's going to be an after credit scene, but... just gotta sit here and wait, and then afterwards I gotta go back and write all these notes because so many things were happening. What is it that Ura-Acca's like, you don't care about Frill? Huh, Acca, you just want to save Himari. And Akka's like, isn't that how we've always been? How are you gonna save Himari if you don't stop Frill? And what do you mean you don't care about Frill? Like, thank you for watching, or what? The anime just told me thank you for watching. Okay. Gotta go write some fucking notes. When did I stop? Okay, so this is still back in, like, the current timeline of, like, I assume when I didn't want to go to school. Huh. At a point, I had referenced Kotobuki in the fact that saying that you only live once. Which, you know, I assume Neiru had told her that, since she goes to tell her story about her... I assume she would tell a story about Kotobuki with Ai. Yeah, that's the same thing Kotobuki said. Huh. Huh. It's like in this sense, she left Koito for her in pursuit of herself. Gotta say, I feel like I haven't heard this music since like the beginning few episodes. Like the first 2 episodes. Okay. And she just fucking powered up over here. Okay. I like that small little interaction that I had when she's like using her feet to get her mom's attention. It's like a very it's quite like a very personal thing of like you know, of like what a child would do to their parent. I suppose sometimes the truth hurts, and sometimes it's better to not know the truth and bask in ignorance instead. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really fully recovered from the shock that I had back in like episode 9 and 10 when they started throwing all these fucking plotline at me about like parallel worlds and Thanatos and the Warrior of Arrows. Like I'm still trying to overcome that shock before I actually even think about it within the plot. I want to be strong like you. And then Kirara. I was thinking about Kururi for some reason. Isn't that how we've always been? What, that you don't care about Frill, or you're selfish, or... Ooh. Ugh. And here I thought that I could tell which eye was which because one of them didn't have shoes on, but for some reason she suddenly has shoes on. Oh, the both of them have shoes on now. Where did she get her shoes? She took it off previously. How am I supposed to know who's who? Okay, there you go. Fucking finish writing those notes. Fantastic. Back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 12 of Wonder Egg Priority. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, once this episode ended, I was like, wow, imagine if I was actually following this anime during its streaming period. And this was the 12th episode. This was the final episode, before episode 13 came out. And all I could think of was, wow, it didn't really feel like an ending. It just felt like they were hyping up for a season 2. But anyways, as I said during the reaction, it really did feel like this episode went everywhere. And we had previous episodes where it goes from like the current time to the past and such. But yeah, this one was just a little bit everywhere, and consider that we also had a parallel eye as well. It got a little confusing for me, and I'm the person who had trouble in the previous episode trying to figure out Acca and Ura-Acca, despite knowing that Acca was the one wearing freaking glasses. I still can't differentiate them unless I stare really hard. And now here we have 2 eyes, so I was over here trying to figure out who's who, and the only way at the time was trying to figure out their hairpin, to which that is such a smaller detail for me to notice than freaking Akka's glasses. Anyways, back to the beginning. We saw the gang had made up to talk about their little trauma, and we saw the way that Momoe and Rika reacted to said trauma, and Moe had wished that she was never a part of this, consider that she's like, I never took part of this, or at least, Neiru was like, you're the one who fucking joined this shit, alright? But Moe herself says she didn't want to partake in this. She was, in a sense, forced into it. And so, yeah, she didn't want to be a part of this any longer, so she leaves. And Rika, who is pent up on anger, because that is how she is currently dealing with her trauma. She wants revenge, but we saw towards the end that despite her, I assume, trying to get into the egg world or trying to get into where she could buy an egg, Ura-Acca ends up kicking her out because he can see the hatred in her and he doesn't want her to fall victim to Frill. And Acca, on the other hand, does not give a fuck at all. I'm glad this episode has really confirmed my hatred for Acca. Like I said, I always liked Ura-Acca better than you, Acca, despite Ura-Acca not being as, Ura-Acca is essentially still enabling Acca because from what we have seen previously, but in a sense, since episode 11, when he told the backstory to Ai and the fact that he is stopping Rika from coming to where they are or coming into the egg world, he is, taking action. Unlike the previous times when he didn't take action, like he knew that the previous episode that Acca had freaking tossed Frill into the basement, but he didn't do anything about it because, I don't know, I guess it's okay to just push an AI into a fucking cabinet, to which I have to say, like, I guess during that time, Acca, despite being a fucking genius at creating this AI, has not realized that the AI has become sentient. And so he's just like, it's just your fucking input, to which, I mean, it is true, she is detecting input, but at the same time, it's like, come on, my guy. At least give her a swift death instead of freaking locking her up in the freaking basement. You could have, and you know what, Ura-Acca, you should have done that earlier. Just fucking lit her on fire. Anyways, we're not gonna talk about episode 11 and my rather increasing hatred for Acca, but we go back to Ai in her own low egg world, and we hear Acca, I wouldn't say berate, but berate was the word that came out into my brain. Yeah, we saw Acca saying like, hey, you're never going to break your egg like this, get Leon out. And since I had learned what had happened to Momoe and Rika, she doesn't want Leon to come out, since she doesn't want him to get killed. And Akka's like, well, fuck you, I'm just going to get him out myself. And so she forces Leon to come out, and and essentially forces Ai to break the egg, or gives Ai the opportunity to break the egg, and when she breaks the egg, she finds that it is herself, and I remember the first thing I thought of was, oh, so she's dead. But we learn after the opening that the whole parallel world thing that we had learned previously with Kotobuki, it is a real thing, and that this is an Ai from a parallel world where she never met Koito, so she ended up still being bullied at school. She doesn't have a really good relationship with her mom. She doesn't talk to her mom, in a sense. And I suppose even in that world, Mr. Sawaki was still hounding on her mom. Goddamn, dude. Goddamn. And so, without all that source that she would need during her bad times, she ends up committing suicide. I just thought it was really nice and a little surreal just to see that the current Ai, is over here giving the parallel Ai some encouragement, or just seeing parallel Ai saying, I'm sorry, to the current Ai. So it was just a nice little, I can't say self-love, self-encouragement. I can't remember a specific word for that, but somewhere around there. As they were running away from the See No Evil, they end up at the pool area where I assume parallel Ai ended up killing herself right there. And during that time, we see that Mr. Sawaki is the Wonder Killer, since he is in Ai's parallel world. He was the guy who, as he said, the guy who took her mom away from her, essentially, or she was dazzled by a man and put her self-interest first. And during that whole speech, he goes on to say that his kindness was just a public face. That's and since he is a handsome man, he can get away with a lot of things, to which he's not wrong. But we had current Ai talking about how this is not how Mr. Sawaki acts, and so I assume this Sawaki is obviously the parallel version. So he's the evil Sawaki, I suppose, or maybe it's like Persona 4 and it's like this shadow self of his that he's hiding in. So Mr. Sawaki ends up putting the two girls in their respective world, and current Ai sees Koito, who then invites her to the roof for, you know, a friendly bungee jumping without the rope. And during that time, we hear Sawaki talking about how love is pure. Young love is, you know, it's pure, it's fragile, and that he knows that she was in love with him. And well, we did hear afterwards, towards the end of the fight, that she did, in the parallel world, ask him out, I assume. But then he's like, nah fam, I'm going after your mom instead. Anyways, yeah, he talked about how young love is pure while adult love is dirty, and that instead of growing up to be an adult, it's better if you just die young, so you never have to experience this in the first place. And I know that I said that you just end up in the dirt, but, you know, the whole parallel world and Wonder Egg shit, I guess you'll end up in another world somehow, one way or another, but for the most part, you will still just be in like 6 feet under. Or turn into ashes, or be put into one of those what are those little caskets I don't know what those places. It's kind of like a graveyard, but not really. Like you get locked into a box. So back on the whole thing with Sawaki saying like, oh, your mom was dazzled by a man and she only had her self-interest. And we had Ai over here talking about how her mom had always supported her and that she never really blamed her, even when I stopped going to school. And we saw it in these small little scenes of Ai and her mom again. And sometimes I'm having a little confusion of whether is that like still during the time when Ai said she was going out to school but she ended up not? Like, was that still during the time that Ai didn't want to go to school? Or this was still in the time where she did go to school, like after she told Sawaki she was going to school again, but then she was going to school, but then she ended up not going to school. Anyways, she ended up not going to school, and we saw that Ai's mom, instead of, you know, questioning why she's not going to school, she ends up asking her to help her out with... Actually, now that I realized, this was after... Okay, I'm just confusing myself. No, that scene was already after she said she was going back to school because she had mentioned Kotobuki. Why can't things just go in order? Why? I mean, suspense and all that fucking mumbo jumbo. But goddamn, I just like it when stories go in chronological orders, or at least give backstories in a better format instead of flying everywhere. Not even backstory, but like flashbacks. Anyways, again, during the whole speech of her saying that her mom had always supported her, we go back to another flashback where we see that Ai is giving her support and essentially her approval for her mom and Mr. Sawaki's relationship, and I thought that was really nice. Congratulations, Wonder Egg Priority, you've gotten tears out of me. And they're not even sad tears, how dare you! With that, Ai levels up, you know, she says that she's going to believe, and if she doesn't, she'll never be able to love anyone, or that other thing that I currently can't remember what she said. I don't know why, my brain is deteriorating. But she levels up and she defeats Sawaki and she clears the game, and we saw that countdown again, and we saw Koito sitting there, but she didn't even get up. She just fucking vanished. I see how it is, Koito, you little fucker. And so after that, we see the two eyes have a nice little conversation, and again, it's just that very nice. Wait, I completely skip over the part where she breaks through the world somehow, like she broke from her own world and then into Parallel Eyes' world. But also, we see a scene of her, you know, leaving Koito behind for herself, which was very nice. I really like that. And for some reason, all I'm thinking about right now is Ariana Grande. Okay, after the defeat of Mr. Sawaki, the two eyes have a low conversation, and again, I thought that was really nice. You know, again, the whole self-encouragement thing, and Parallel Eye is like, oh, I wish I was strong as you, and Current Eye is like, but you are me, so you are strong. that sort of thing, so I thought that was really nice. And we saw that Parallel Eye had some newfound courage within her that we saw later on once they ended up meeting Kirara, I don't know why I keep saying Kirara. But before they said that, I said that she had decided to become the warrior of arrows and defeat Thanatos, and that she will come and save Parallel Eye once she figures out how to cross parallel worlds, which fucking great. And that was when the third flower, third bug, third AI thing, Kirara, makes an appearance, and Ai gets Leon back into her little Pokeball so that Kirara can't fucking kill him. But due to that, or perhaps it's just Kirara wanting shiny things, she ends up taking Ai's eye. But we find out that it wasn't Current Ai's eyes, it was Parallel Ai's eyes. But yeah, so we saw that Parallel Eye decided to take the hit for Current Eye, and again, that's what I was thinking about with like Eye having the newfound courage within her after seeing herself and how strong she has become, and you know that whole sense of like I can become strong because here is me in another world who had become strong and such. But in between that scene, we see that Ura-Acca is not letting Rika back into the egg world, or he's not letting her back into the area that they are in order for her to get some eggs. Although I do find it funny that Rika's like, look, I swear, I promise I'll bring my wallet next time, alright? But Ura-Acca sees that Rika is full of hatred and she just wants revenge, and that is not something that he wants because, as he said in the previous episode, he doesn't want Ai to make the same mistake that they did, and so he's doing that for Rika as well. He doesn't want her to be consumed by hatred like how he was for Frill. And you know, it just really shows that Ura-Acca has learned his lesson. I don't know about Acca though. But because Acca, he just doesn't give a shit. He's like, why don't you just give her a chance anyways? And he's like, well, you're just gonna put her in danger. And Akka's like, she knows the risk. The fuck, dog? He says while continuing to read. How can they read anyways? They don't even have eyes. Now that I've realized. How are they even seeing anything? Ura-Acca, when he hears that Acca doesn't give a shit, he says that Acca doesn't care about Frill, and that as long as Himari is safe, I assume he doesn't care about anything else that happens, as long as Himari is saved. To which I'm still a little confuzzled about, like, you don't care about Frill? Look, the only thing that sentence speaks out to me is confirming my hatred for Acca. How dare he! I didn't like him before, and then episode 11 came, and I didn't like him even more, and now here we are at episode 12. How dare he! Look, man, I'd say we take Frill out and Acca. Anywho, after Acca hears what Ura-Acca had said, he leans forward and he says, "Isn't that how we've always been?" As he, you know, he ropes Ura-Acca into this, and I'm trying to figure out what that means. Like, we've always cared about Himari and not cared about Frill? To which again, like, what a fucking asshole thing to say. You're over here like, you've created a fucking monster and you're not even gonna give a fucking shit. I see how it is. No wonder Frill is out here on a fucking rampage killing all these 14-year-old girls. He's over here like, I don't give a shit as long as Himari is safe. What are you gonna do after Himari is safe? Like, are you just gonna go back to this? Are you gonna go live with her in a parallel world? Like, I am confusion. I'm still confused about, like, what is all this countdown, and then you see the girls and then they disappear, and like, where did they go? Did they actually go into another parallel world, or like, did they survive in that world somehow? I don't get it. Maybe, perhaps, we'll find out in episode 13. It's like a 40-minute episode, so that's fucking great. I will say, one of the things I like about anime is that it's usually 20 minutes long, and I'm not saying that I have a short attention span. I just don't like sitting for a long period of time watching anime. I don't know why, there's something about me in anime movies that I'm just like, I'd rather not watch anime movies, but goddamn, I will fucking watch a YouTube video for like 3 hours. Although I think the only difference is that I have to put my full attention onto anime, and I just don't want to do that. I'd rather just have it sit in the background and me doing other things, just because I wanna multitask, despite realizing that I'm probably not good at multitasking, but whatever. That is, holy shit, that's going to be it for me, and if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next video.